I founded the Tahirih-Justice-Center in 1997 following my involvement as a law student in a high-profile case of a young woman from Togo who was fleeing a forced polygamous marriage and female genital mutilation. Her case revolutionized asylum law in the United States, establishing that things like female genital mutilation or gender-based persecution could in fact be a grounds for legal protection in the United States. I started the organization because in her case there was a lot of media attention. There was commercial interest in her story and my story as a law student helping her. She and I wrote a book together called Do They Hear You When You Cry? And I used my portion of the proceeds from that book to start the organization. Our goals as an organization are to grow and to respond to the heartbreaking calls we get from women and girls from all over the country. Right now, we're only able to help 1 out of every 10 women and girls who call us for help. We want to change that. We want to open up 5 offices throughout the United States, which means adding another 2. And we want to increase our public policy advocacy so that we can create long-lasting systemic change to protect the courageous women and girls we serve. The Tahirih-Justice-Center enjoys a 99% success rate in the cases that we litigate. That is not a goal, but it is a fact. And we do that in part because of our high-quality legal services and supportive services, but we also do that because we leverage over 12,000 professional volunteers, doctors, lawyers, translators, and psychologists, so that we can multiply, turning every dollar you donate into 4 of impact for the women and girls we serve. The Tahirih-Justice-Center is ready to replicate our model. We're ready to grow exponentially because our work is effective, it's efficient, and it is replicable. We are effective in that we have a 99% success rate in the cases we litigate. We are efficient because we leverage every dollar donated to us and turn it into 4 through leveraging volunteers. And we are replicable. We have tested replication through a pilot office. We have now refined that, and we're ready to roll out our growth further. The Tahirih-Justice-Center uses several metrics in order to assess our effectiveness. Obviously, we look at the number of women and girls we serve and how well we serve them, but we also look at our systemic impact and our ability to transform laws and policies. And finally, we look very hard at our organization's efficiency. We look at our return on investment and managing our operations and our development capacities, and we make sure we are leveraging every moment a volunteer can give us so that we are multiplying and maximizing the amount of services that we can provide. This means that Tahirih turns every dollar you donate into 4 of impact. Sometimes we face questions or confusion over who we serve and why we serve them. The Tahirih-Justice-Center serves the most underserved in our community. Women and girls who, because of their lack of legal status, don't have the right to free legal aid that some U.S. citizens have the right to. And so we serve those women and we help them access legal status that they're actually entitled to. They may be undocumented when they come to us, but they have a right to legal status and we help them realize that right. Over the years, we have accomplished many things. Most significantly, we've served 14,000 courageous women and girls who have stood up against violence. But we have also changed law and changed the system. The Tahirih-Justice-Center's cases have set precedent. We brought the first lawsuit in the United States against a so-called mail-order bride company and won. We also were instrumental in pieces of legislation like the Violence Against Women Act reauthorization and the International Marriage Broker Regulation Act. We see critical gaps in services, particularly as peer organizations struggle with financial constraints, some to the point of closing their doors, and we accept their overage. In particularly heartbreaking moments, we sometimes have to close our intake lines after only 20 minutes of their being opened because we're simply overwhelmed with calls and do not have enough lawyers and case managers on staff to respond to their needs. We also face a discouraging political environment in which protections for immigrants are questioned, and the legal protections our clients can now access are at risk of being undone. We're at a critical moment in the organization's history so that we can do more exponentially than we have ever been able to do in the past by multiplying and growing in other cities and elevating our national advocacy presence. With your financial support, we aim to substantially increase the number of immigrant women and girls in the United States protected from gender-based violence by providing holistic, direct pro bono legal services in 5 cities throughout the United States. We also will continue and increase our leadership nationally in advocating for the protection of immigrant women and girls fleeing violence. With additional resources, the Tahirih-Justice-Center can help hundreds more women that we are not currently able to help. We will also be able to advocate for laws and policies that we currently do not have the bandwidth to respond to. Additionally, we'd like to do some very specific things to increase our infrastructure and capacity to serve more women and girls. We need to update our website so that we can provide better training materials and post them. We need webinars in order to train our pro bono attorneys. This would allow us to not just train 1,200 pro bono attorneys, but to train 12,000 pro bono attorneys.